Good.
Yep.
You do. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Snyder, if I could please have roll call.
Mr. Finaro.
Here.
Ms. Grosick.
Here.
Mr. Hess.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Teresi.
Here.
This evening, we have a very special guest that I would like to ask to come help us with the Pledge of Allegiance, Nariah Hall.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Nariah, if you'll just stay right there, we'll come join you.
Well, good evening, everyone. How many of you are here for Nariah? Raise your hand.
Ooh.
Actually, all of you are here for Nariah, so all raise your hands. All raise your hands, right? We got to step right up here. So Nariah is a beautiful and special young lady. That is for certain. And Nariah, we have a proclamation for you. And see all this? That's all about you. So that's pretty cool. And there are a lot of really neat things in here. So I'm going to go ahead and read this for all of your fans out here. And then we will present you with this proclamation. Does that work for you? Okay. Just kind of like get this over with quick. All right. The Mayfield City School District and the Mayfield Board of Education present this proclamation to you, Nariah, Student of the Month from CVEC. Whereas Nariah Hall came to CVEC in 2017 and soon became known as the girl who always smiles. I would say the young woman who always smiles. Nariah began her training with CVEC on the Rockwell Automation team. She trained in AVI food systems, stocking condiments, wiping tables, and doing food prep. Nariah worked on her employability skills of smiling, good, greeting people, and speaking loud enough to be heard over the noise in the cafeteria. And whereas in January of 2018, Nariah moved to the Health Careers team at Hillcrest Hospital. Nariah has also trained in the mail run, surgical support, surgery center, guest services, Aramark, patient foods, patient transport, digestive health, and heart transplants. I'm kidding about the heart transplant. But you never know. You've done everything else. Might as well, right? Well, pay attention here. All right. Whereas by May 2018, Nariah began an internship in the guest services department working at the front desk at Hillcrest Hospital, always smiling and greeting patients and visitors. Nariah later transitioned to Aramark, making the boxed lunch for patients. Over time, she learned to make salads and work in the patient tray line. She was offered a job with Aramark at Hillcrest Hospital. Nariah now works all of the positions on the tray line. And whereas Nariah is a great example for all of us, she exhibits positivity and is always ready for a new challenge and work to advance her skills. Her goal is to learn the hostess position. Is that true? Yes. So she can deliver trays to the patients at Hillcrest Hospital with her infectious smile. So, Nariah, therefore be it resolved, on behalf of all of us here in the Mayfield School community, you are named the Mayfield Board of Education Student of the Month.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And the real proclamation.
Thank you.
So we're going to take some pictures, okay? And we're going to ask Mr. Ross to take a picture with you as well in a minute, okay? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. And is your employer here? Not yet? Okay. Absolutely.
Yes,
Come on,
please.
bring the team up.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah.
Come on, team.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, but do it anyhow.
Yeah, right.
We'll put the tall one in the back.
That's awesome.
Not here. All right, so let me just get your photo.
Okay.
Right.
Nariah,
We need you-
stand over here.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Mariah.
A good firm hinge, too.
Thank you.
Let's give Nariah one more round of applause.
You got some certificates.
So I'd like to bring up some other very special young women who are very athletically talented and represented Mayfield very, very well at the state swim meet this year. So I'm going to ask Karen Argy, 12th grader, senior. Come on up. Stand right up here, Karen. Now, Gina Ferrante can't be here, but her parents are here. Where are you? I asked her mom if she wanted to come up instead, but she said no. Emily Steffi is a junior. And sophomore Gianna Leffler, if you come up. So all of these young women, along with Gianna Ferrante, did some very special things at the state meet. They each, all of them together in a relay, if I have this correct, right? Do I have this correct? Okay. They placed 12th in the 200 medley relay. They placed 13th in the 200 free relay. Is that correct? Yeah. I know I was there for a lot, most of it. 19th in the 400 free relay. Is that right? Okay, so that's pretty special, and that's in the state of Ohio. So let's give them a round of applause. Now, I also want to mention that Gianna Ferrante placed 9th in the 200 individual medley. Wow. So congratulations to Gianna. Her parents are here. So please extend our congratulations to them. Let's give these special athletes another round of applause and get some pictures.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Did you want to get a picture with the girls at all?
Yeah,
No, you're good? Okay.
absolutely.
Hope he comes to the Browns.
Yeah, great job, guys.
So we have another special athlete here tonight, too,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
is Rebecca here.
Hey,
Rebecca Fritz? Oh, there you are. Come on up.
I want to shake your hand, Karen. Congratulations.
congratulations. Congratulations, Karen.
So we also, Rebecca is a junior at Mayfield High School, and Rebecca also made the state meet, but in gymnastics. So that's pretty special for us. She qualified for the floor exercises and the uneven parallel bars, placing 6th in the state on the bars. That's very impressive. That's wow. So congratulations to you, Rebecca.
Can I get you all
Yes.
together?
Absolutely.
Okay, and I think, where are your mom?
The mom's here.
Okay. Come on. Where is she? Bring her up. Come on. Would you like to take a picture? Yeah. She's shy. Oh, not like you. Okay. Okay. Not like your dad either.
Are your coaches here? No.
They look like sisters.
All right.
Lori.
Congratulations. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Great.
Look
Congratulations.
like sisters.
Well done. Thank you.
Good to see you. Sorry, didn't see you.
Does anybody want a team photo with families?
I know.
Swimmers.
Swimmers' families are
Okay,
here.
that's not going over
I'm going
good.
to go shake Don's.
Okay.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
All right.
Congratulations.
That's a pretty honor section.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's give our athletes one more round of applause. All right. Okay.
All right. I believe that brings us to a very special presentation. Dr. Rossi, take it away. Yes, please, because that way it's recorded.
Okay. Hey, where are you swimmers
Thank you,
going?
guys. They're going downstream.
Congrats.
We sure know how to empty
Okay.
a truck.
This working? There we go. Okay. Dr. Kelly, Treasurer Snyder, amazing school board. It's great to be here again tonight. Boy, the year's gone by quickly. It seems like it wasn't that long ago when last March when we were here talking about one of our great programs. So tonight our focus is going to be on our health careers, job training and internship program. That's the program that Naraya is in. But before I turn it over to our instructor, Karen Crotty, just want to kind of set the stage a little bit and give you some updates on our partnerships and what we're doing at CVAC. So first of all, what we try to do is we start with our students' PINs, or their preference, interests, needs, and strengths. So we do some assessments with students to determine what kind of work environment would you like, what kind of job do you think you'd like, what are your needs, so what kind of supports do you need to be successful on a job, and most importantly, what are your strengths, because we try to build on those things. What we do at CVAC is we teach power standards. They're also known as soft skills. So we have 16 different power standards. Things like, well, Mariah could tell you, because she does all of these power standards so well, how to get along with coworkers, taking instructions, being flexible, being on time. Those are the things that every employer wants, no matter how well you do the job. If you don't have those things, you're not going to be able to keep the job and do well. Next thing, the community is our classroom, and I'm going to share in another slide what I mean by that. We have 18 very unique programs, from center-based programs where maybe our students are out working in the community and training 50% of the time, to programs where 100% of the time in the community don't even come to CVAC. They're just out there doing their thing and working. We have full-day and half-day options for our students. The people that make it happen, job training coordinators, people like Karen Crotty and several of job training coordinators that are here tonight. We have an intervention specialist. We have our career assessment specialist, Joyce Brauman. A lot of paraprofessionals, formerly called job trainers, who are really, truly where the rubber meets the road for a lot of our students. For instance, Margarita and Carmen, who are here tonight to honor Naraya. We have administrative assistants, Barb and Darlene, thank you for being here tonight, and Deb too, thanks for being here. And again, over 100 school business partnerships, which I'll talk about in a minute. And one of the other things that's really important for us, because we're all about training our students for life after high school, is we're continuously doing local labor market analysis. We're looking at what are the jobs in Cleveland, what are the high demand jobs, because if we're not giving our students opportunities in those areas, we're not preparing them for a solid future. So in Ohio, we look at career clusters. And these are the 13 different career clusters that we really try to focus on. And what we really try to do is to build programs. If we have a student whose PINS is a good fit for a manufacturing type of job, let's see if we can give students some opportunities in those areas. So our model is to really continuously look, where are the jobs, specifically in Northeast Ohio, because that's where our programs are now. And as you all know, with 20 districts, we're really spread out. So we're really constantly looking at where are the jobs. Sorry, the font's so small. I wanted to get this on one slide, but these are just our current training site partners. This does not include the giant list of business partners who hire our students. So you can see, and I'm not going to read it to you, and I apologize to my aging colleagues in the back who might need some bifocals to take a look at this. But every one of these different business partners here willingly agrees to allow our students to come there. They provide training. Our mentors, and I really wish Naraya's boss could have been here tonight, because we really rely on the people in the businesses to do a lot of the training of our students. We not only support our students, but we support our mentors, because those are the folks that know the jobs the best. So these are the current training site partners. Next year, it could look completely different. We're constantly adding as we're looking at what the job market is asking for. So that's just kind of an overview on where we are now at CVAC. Our health careers team, Karen's going to present and tell you a little bit about what happens there. But this is just one slice of the CVAC pie. And I wouldn't want to keep you here till midnight because it would take a long time to go through all of our programs. So Karen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. All right. I'm Karen Crotty. I'm the job training coordinator for the health careers team. Oh, microphone. Is that better? Okay, sorry. Karen Crotty from the health careers team. I've been with CVEC 17 years now. Mr. Ross asked me to tell you. I got my first degree at Ohio State in botany. I managed greenhouses. I was in floral design. And I was the Heinen's floral buyer. Heinen's made the business decision to get away from floral. And so we were absorbed by produce. Before that happened, CVEC came and approached me and asked me to have students working at Heinen's in the floral department. So when Heinen's changed their model, I came to CVEC as a job coach. So I was a job coach first on the job development team, and then I went with Joe Marino down to the Cleveland Clinic internship program down at main campus. And I was there for 9 years as the job coach. While I was there, I got my teaching license. Luckily, there was an opening at CVEC, and I got hired in the job development team. And so I was one of the job developers for 7 years. This opened up, and logically, I am now the health careers teacher. So that's my story. Okay. Just, we have partnered with the Cleveland Clinic for 35 years, which is hard to believe, here at Hillcrest. We have been down at main campus with internship programs for 12, and I'm excited to say because of Naraya, we now have 104 students that have been hired at the clinic in 12 years. And really exciting, we have students that are interning down at main campus, and their mentors are our former students. The one student has been there 11 years.
Excellent.
So not only are we training students, we're helping support their longevity, them keeping their job retention. So that's really exciting. These are our 19, are we at 20? 20 school districts that we currently support CVEC. And it's a growing list, so that's why I have to keep asking. These are our 16 power standards that Mr. Ross discussed, and all of them are important. We got the power standards from businesses, and this is what they say they need their employees to be able to do. And our students, regardless of their ability levels, when they graduate CVEC, all of them can do these skills. This is one of the requirements. The training program, it is individualized placement, so if a student is interested in a specific department, we will go and develop it and get the student there. Most of the students come to us not knowing they want to work in a hospital or want to help people, but we take them and let them explore different departments so that they can see there's a lot of jobs in the medical field that you do not need a 4-year degree. Many of them are high school diplomas. There are some that require some certificates. And so that's what we're exploring and letting them know there are other options out there. It's guided practice. I have some amazing job coaches on my team. We have unbelievable job coaches throughout all of CVEC, and without the job coach, I cannot do my job. They are really our right arms, so important. So they help with the guided practice. The students then, working with their mentors, become independent. And I mentioned the job rotations. We do a 4-week job rotation. There are a few jobs that require 6 weeks, and then I have one rotation that takes a whole quarter. So it just depends on what the ability level of the student and also the requirements of the job. We have our bus depot where the students come from the other districts. They come to CVEC. They get on a bus and they come over to Hillcrest. And we are 5 days a week out in the community. These are the departments we're in. I will show you some slides and explain all of them to you in just a minute. But you can see it's a wide variety of departments. Surgery Center is our largest department that we're in. People come in to have a surgery or a procedure, and they come to the Surgery Center.
Our students are responsible for cleaning all of the beds, which is a really big job. There are days where they'll have over 100 surgeries in a day, and our students clean all of the beds and get them ready for the patients. They also clean the areas, they're called pods. That's the area where the curtains, so our students clean that area. This department, the students work directly with the nurses. The nurses are the mentors, and so they will guide the students to what they need. We also stock the blanket warmers. This actually comes direct patient care. When a patient comes out of surgery, they're cold. The warm blankets go on the patient. Some can go up to 4 or 5 blankets. So our students make sure that the blanket warmers are stocked for the nurses. So they come, they're really helping the patients with that one. And finally, the gowns come in and they're a mess. So our students make it easier for a patient. When they arrive, they snap the sleeves. They make it easier for them to get ready for surgery. In surgical support, this is the one department that takes the whole quarter. The students actually work in surgery, cleaning the operating rooms after surgery. They work in a team with their mentor. The first week is probably learning all of the correct ways to wear the protective equipment and how to handle the material. The student actually is not wearing all the protective equipment because she would have to have a mask on and goggles and you wouldn't see her face. But it gives you an idea of all the things they have to wear. They learn how to clean everything in the room, learn how to stock that cabinet in the back. And as I said, they work as a team right with their mentors. They have to be able to clean the operating room in 15 minutes. Surgeries happen that often. Digestive health, the students are also cleaning and making beds. It is much smaller. It's a very quiet environment compared to the surgery center. And so that environment fits some students a little better. Linen department, we do 3 different things, everything from passing out the scrubs to the people in surgery, to building the linen carts, which is what the student is doing on the right. Every nursing area needs different things on their carts. And so there's a book that the students have to follow for what needs to go on the cart. So the students learn how to do that. And then finally, we go around and we collect the dirty linen so it can get shipped out. They actually ship out their linen and it's cleaned in another facility. And there's Naraya. This is the dietary. Our students actually help prepare the food for the patients. So Naraya on the left is doing the box lunches. They're set up to the nursing floors, and a patient, for whatever reason, whether they've missed a meal or if they're diabetic and they need nourishment, will get a box lunch. On Fridays in particular, our students can make over 120 box lunches, and they're only there 2 hours. So you can imagine how hard they're working. Am I? Yeah. Naraya's done an awful lot of those. They also work on the tray line and making salads. And those are the salads for the patients. We also work in dietary stock. When the product comes in, we help get it to the right location and in the coolers and freezers. That's why the gentlemen are wearing coats. Material handling or the warehouse. Our students actually, using a sheet of paper, will go and pull an order, put it on a cart, and then take it up to the floor to where it belongs throughout the hospital. Guest services or the information desk. Our students greet people. They help you find your doctor's appointments. They answer phone calls and direct patients. People that have difficulty walking, they will push them in a wheelchair. Gift shop is a new department for us this year. And so right now it's only in the afternoons. And it's stocking. They deliberately leave all their stock for our students. The mentors here are wonderful, and they actually teach our students the register, how to price check, how to use it. Our students just don't handle the money. Environmental services, we have amazing mentors in environmental services, and the mentors, some mentors are right there next to the student working. Other mentors, like in environmental services, they'll give students a task after they've trained them and say, go do that, while they go and do something else. So the students really feel like they're an employee, and so they understand how to work in the department. We clean everything from the pediatric emergency room We do the surgery center, public areas, bathrooms, the dining areas, as well as we set up the event room. They have a very large event room in the basement, and every day there's a different event going on, and every day it needs to be set up differently. Sometimes it looks like a classroom, sometimes it's a lecture hall. It changes all the time. Patient transport is our students do a lot of discharges. They start by shadowing a transporter, and after shadowing the transporter for a while, they get to actually take the patient to their cars. The fun part of this is they actually help maternity, the mothers leave with the babies, and that's one of their favorite jobs. Equipment transport, we usually start with equipment transport. There's so many parts of the beds and the wheelchairs that the students need to learn how to handle them correctly, not only for their safety, but for the safety of patients. Pinch points are very common in a wheelchair because they collapse. So our students have to learn how to correctly use all of that equipment. The mail run is not that they're going to get hired in the mail room. The mail run is a way for the student to learn how to get around the hospital. Usually only takes about an hour and a half, and then our students go and work in a different department. But this is like the beginning starting point, and then once they learn the hospital, then they can do the transport, then they can do the guest services, and move from there. Also on our team, our students can earn industry-recognized credentials. We have the ServSafe Level 1, CPR, and we assist the students with the state testing nursing assistant and the phlebotomy certificates, as well as home health aid. Now, we work with Newbridge. It's not El Barrio. I'm reading this saying that's the wrong name. It's Newbridge Academy. And they help us get the students the STNA certificates. And that's it.
Thank you for all of your support, and Karen, thank you for being here, and CVAC staff as well. So, any questions?
No, but I'll comment. You all have done and continue to do a tremendous job. It is one of the most important sections of our school that for the 45 years that I've been here, when I came and saw that this was going on, it was amazing to see it then, and then to see it grow over these years to what it is today, and it will continue to grow, I know that. But to think of the wonderful work that you all have done, the number of students that you have placed and who are working and earning a living and doing the things that they need to do is just outstanding, and there's no words that can really say thank you.
I would like to
Thank you,
echo
Mr. Hughes.
with what George was saying. I also have had the advantage of knowing CVAC from almost its very beginning. I believe it was the second year of CVAC's existence. I had the fine pleasure as a teacher coming from Beechwood Mayfield to CVAC to work with students. And you've come a long way, baby. And I'll tell you what, those relationships that you have built over the years have been so great for so many. And our students have had such a wonderful advantage because of it. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I will say you have a wonderful staff that knows their jobs inside and out, from bottom up and top down, all the way through.
Thank
A round
you. They're
of
the
applause
best.
for all of you guys. Really changing lives. I'll tell you
Amen.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we'll take just a moment breather. All right. That brings us to community communications. This is an opportunity for community members to come and speak before the board on issues that they would like to inform us about. It is an informational session. Nobody had mentioned that they wanted to speak to us ahead of time. Is there anyone present who wanted to speak to an agenda item? There being none, we will move on to President's announcements. Well, here we are in spring, and spring brings a whole bunch of wonderful activities. So to start with, I was upstairs grabbing some tea, and I noticed we ended the last presentation with an icon, and I happened to see a tray full of icons upstairs. And I hear, Dr. Ward, it's the big 4-0. Happy birthday. Some other points of interest coming up. Coming up May 7th is the art show. It will be in the Hillcrest Arboretum, atrium. I'll get it yet. From 1 to 3 will be that special presentation to kick off, and the art will be there through April 22nd. There is also the performance of Shrek that will be April 5th and 7th, as well as 12th and 14th. So check for times and availability for tickets, because I'm sure they'll go fast, and I hear that it's an absolutely outstanding performance. I will say, P.S., I have friends from the West Side who heard about it at the Green Tie Gala who are coming, so just so you know, you're pulling them from the West Side. April 16th will be the open house and ribbon cutting for the preschool. So we're all very excited about that. Go ahead, you can tag on.
You've stolen everything I was going to say, but that's okay. That's good. Sorry.
That's
I'm
all
kidding,
right.
I'm kidding.
That's okay.
All right.
I think that's all I have. Any board member committee reports?
Not tonight.
Not now.
I like it when I get it all. All right, then we'll move to the superintendent's non-report.
I just have one thing. I want to congratulate the middle school for being named a school to watch in the state of Ohio. It's a high award, so we just want to congratulate the entire middle school staff, and they've done a super job. And state of Ohio came in with those folks that observe what's actually going on in the building to see if what they say goes on actually does happen. And they verified all that, and there's schools to watch for the second year in a row, really. So great accomplishment for the middle school. Congratulations.
Here to the middle school.
And then,
Go ahead.
I think
no, that's fine.
the science showcase.
Science
yes.
showcase,
Great.
yes.
And it was another fabulous science showcase. I did learn something else this year. I learned that sea turtles eat jellyfish, and that's why they eat the bags wind up in their system. So I like showing up there because these kindergartners and first graders teach me something every time I show up. So hope I learned something next year. But that was a great job again this year.
Awesome. All righty. Then we will move into the agenda, and we will start with the superintendent's consent agenda. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Teresi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
So this evening, we have Laurel here. I'm sorry. Laurel Revita's here, and with her husband. And Laurel will be our new Gates Mills Elementary principal. So Laurel, congratulations. Laurel's been in the district for just 1 year. She has tremendous background. She's been with Felicia over at Lander, and doing great things there, and survived the committee process and the interview process very well, and came out on top. So congratulations. It's a great job. We're really excited about the great things you're going to do there with that staff, because they're wonderful. It's a wonderful community as well. So congratulations.
You do know you have to move into Gates Mills, right?
You weren't told that one. Yeah. And also, we have Dr. Matthew Bradick here. Matt is here also. Is going to be, he's been working at Millridge as the assistant principal, as you know, and doing a great job there. He's formerly a school psychologist, a very talented educator, and he will be joining the special education department and pupil services department as a special education coordinator. So it's nice to have your talents there as well. Craig is not too happy with me about that because you guys, as Felicia is not too happy with me about Laurel, but. Yes, you are.
So that psychology background will work real well right now. I'm okay, you're okay.
But you did some great work there at Millridge, too, and we absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm excited. It's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, next we have under superintendent's business, the board meeting date change. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
and Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And that moves us to the treasurer's report and the financial statements for February 28th, 2019. Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And next is donations, my favorite. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And financial transactions.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
The Mayfield Middle School fees.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
and Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And next we have additional donations.
So moved.
We need to like them so much we put it on
I
twice.
thank
There
you.
So
It's
moved.
a good night.
Keep them coming.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And next in other treasurer's business, we have the minutes of the regular board meeting of February 27th, 2019.
So moved. I'll take the second.
Is that like taking the fifth? Only two.
I've taken the fifth a couple times.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes.
and Mr. Hess.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in other board business, we have some memoriams. Mary DePalma Morton passed away on Monday, February 25th, 2019. Ms. DePalma Morton was a teacher at Millridge for nearly 30 years until her retirement at the end of 2017. Our condolences are extended to her family. Also, Rita Italovich passed away on March 11th, 2019 at the age of 84. Ms. Italovich was a building monitor at Mayfield High School for 12 years until she retired in October of 2015. Our condolences go to her family as well. And unfortunately, Elisa D'Alessandro passed away March 2019 at the age of 97. Ella was an aide at the Mayfield City School District for 22 years until she retired in 1996. And our condolences go out to her friends and family as well. Next, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Mr. Tressi,
Yes.
Mr. Finaro,
Yes.
Ms. Grosek,
Yes,
and Mr. Hess.
Yes.
that's a wrap.